Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Ninth Legion. Let's play some more Banished. This is our third episode, and so far Lindum Colonia is thriving. Despite some early deaths to starvation, we've currently got over 1,000 food stored. We've got 21 adults and 8 children, and we've just built our blacksmith. Now, you may note we have got one person who is needing a tool, so that was built just in time, but my favourite character so far, Verily, is going to be working hard to produce whatever people need. Everything else looks to be doing okay. We have, however, run out of stored clothing. We've worked through all of the hide jackets we had stored, so that might be the thing we want to work towards next. So, let me unpause, and we'll carry on. So, I'm not quite sure. There we go, Taylor. 32 wood, 48 stone, and 69. Well, we can definitely afford all of that. And we do have spare people, so let's get that going. The only thing that's going to hold us up is the fact we're just not bringing in that much leather at this point. Let's drop it here, at the back of the houses. We've got plenty of space here to grow along. As you can see, there are some trees starting to grow up in the area where we have already clear felled. So, we can't be having that, so we'll just get rid of all of those. Forests will grow and expand, and occasionally trees will die on their own. There was one there that died on all of its own accord. So they are kind of a natural ecosystem within the game, which we will disrupt somewhat by, chopping them down willy-nilly. The reserve of logs is low, so yeah, we did use a lot of firewood that last winter, and we're not that far off winter coming again. All of our houses are also full up now, so we might want to start thinking about expanding that. I think it's time to chop down a whole bunch of trees. No, that's not the right thing. I want to chop down trees. There we go. Alright, let's chop down all of that. And that. And that shouldn't bring us too close to this area yet. See, that's right on the edge there. So we don't really want to go any further north in that direction. We want to start taking from here. So we'll get our Taylor up and running, and then we'll see about, in the new year, getting the crop fields up and running. There's no point doing them now, because you can't plant in late autumn. I don't know much about gardening, but I'm guessing you shouldn't try and plant when it's snowing. I don't think that works very well. The woodcutter has run out of wood, which is a bit of a shame, but we have got a lot of trees being chopped down, and yeah, there they go, they're picking up all the logs and bringing them back, so yeah, they've started up again. We've still got 160 stored, so no one should freeze to death yet. We should still be quite alright. We've got plenty of tools coming in. We're up to 13 now, and she'll work on those until she gets 50, so that's fine. If you look here, you can actually say if you want to produce different tools. Later on, once we've got coal, which I think we get from one of the mines or the quarries we can build later on, that will actually allow us to build steel tools, and that will again improve the efficiency of our workers. And that's in every task they do. Basically, their basic stat is affected by both their education and their tools. Speaking of which, we do now have 21 adults and 11 children. We're very close to the point where I'm going to start to want to build a school. If you build it too early, you tend to starve yourself of workers, and then people die, there's a famine, disease or something, and you can't replace it because everyone's stuck in school, which is a shame. The herbalist, however, does seem to be working for us. We've gone up to 4.5 on the health meter, so that would indicate people are fairly alright. So, how are you doing for me? 84 logs in a season. That's not too bad actually, yeah, so they are bringing in a decent amount. Let's boost that up to the maximum 4 of 4 and see how much stuff we can get out of them. The gatherer's hut is still working strong. Our 2 hunters, yeah, bringing in quite a lot of goods. We're dipping under 500 on stored food now. That's just because we have obviously got quite a few mouths to feed. And I'm going to make that a little bit worse by building some more houses. So, I'll have another little street's worth here. which does fit in quite nicely. That's actually... I didn't intend that to be as neat as that, but I'm quite happy that it is. And we'll build a little dirt road up along there, just so people can get to where they want to go nice and quickly. There we go. And yeah, Lindum Colonia is coming along quite nicely, he said right before a tornado ripped through the heart of the town. There are disasters. Disasters are turned on in this game, so fires, tornadoes, that sort of thing will occasionally occur, and we'll deal with them as best we can. You can't really do much to prepare for a tornado, but we are ready for fire. We've got our well in place, and it's quite centrally located. The only problem might be if we have a fire up here. So, we don't quite have enough stone yet. I think the well needs 40 stone. But yeah, now I've said that to myself, I am a bit concerned we're going to see a fire break out. Ooh. And early spring, we did, yeah, all the snow melted, and then it's all back again. This is a terrible early spring. So I'm going to pause quickly. We've got 3 builders, and we're not really building anything at the moment, so I'm going to turn that down to 2. And I'm going to turn on our crop fields. So this one can be squash, and this one will be cabbages. Now if we have one farmer, that's not enough to do both fields, so we are going to need 2 farmers unfortunately. But there we go, it's early spring, so this seems like a good time to be planting. And let's just see how they do. Now, obviously, when I say we're not building anything, we are building these houses, but I consider them quite a low priority. I don't want a population explosion quite at this point. This is a terrible spring. Very snowy. There we go. Now it's nice and sunny. Temperature's coming up to 35 degrees and everyone's working hard. Food's doing alright, 725. We always want to make sure we've got plenty there, especially when it comes round to winter. And yeah, we have run out of leather. Unfortunately, we're just not getting that much from our hunter's cabin. The only way to really increase that is to have more hunters, so the next person who comes of age, we will... I'll be very tempted to make them a hunter, and actually someone did just now, Arium. So go on, we'll have 3 hunters. That'll just bring in that little bit extra leather. And while there's no leather here, the tailor will go and work as a labourer, so that's not the end of the world. Now, we were talking about reserve of food and logs is low. Oh dear, what happened there? Okay, so we were definitely running low on logs, but the food suddenly dropped quite dramatically. Well, what can we do about that? Well, let's pop this back up to 4 people. We'll take away one of our builders, make them into a fisherman, and hopefully that will help. I'm not quite sure why I keep closing that by accident, but I've got to stop doing it. Now, food shouldn't be too much of a problem once these come in. I can always tell them to harvest early if it looks like we're going to start starving. I'm keeping an eye out of the corner of my eye, and we are dipping down to 69. And cabbages certainly look to be coming in later. Squashes might be an early yield. But no one's starving. Oh, okay, that house is starving. They have no food. That's a shame. Okay, we need to keep an eye on this situation. And this is the sort of problem you can get into. Especially if we weren't still having people turn into adults and become labourers for us. You can't expand too easily. You'll still be having people have children, but you won't be able to do anything to actually increase your workforce. I think they stay students from the age of 10 to 18, so it's quite a long time that you'll be stuck on a fairly solid number. But okay, that seems to have sorted itself out. They've got food for now at least. Firewood we've still got a reserve of. And yep, this is coming in nicely. It's only late spring and that's almost ready to be harvested. Not quite sure how much that's going to give us, but we'll see. The cabbages are also catching up quite nicely. Wow, look at those cabbages go. And you can actually see them growing. Their little icons will slowly grow bigger over time, so you've got a visual idea. But it looks like, yeah, we are out of logs again. That's becoming a problem, so it's just going to have to be chop down more trees. Now bear in mind, we don't really want to go any further north along here. So that whole section can get chopped down. Unfortunately, we can't just get across this river without building a bridge, which would require logs, which I don't have. So for the time being, this is the simplest and quickest route. However, I can make it slightly more easy for them if I build a road. So what I'll do is I'm going to build a simple path, just run it straight up there, and we'll run it into the area we'll chop it down a bit. And now just speed up people travelling to and from. And we have one builder still, so they should quite quickly go about sorting out. Where's my builder? There it is. Zakarlin. He's pretty healthy. He's 31, so he's been doing this for a while. He's an educated. He must have been one of the ones who started with us. He just broke his tool, so he's going to go pick one up. There we go. We've got 54 tools stored, so our blacksmith has now stopped working. He'll be out there somewhere as a labourer. Oh, and it looks like our squash harvest is coming in. Yeah, and the cabbages as well. So you can see them harvesting the plants, and you get these little baskets of fruit, and they then pick those up and drop them off in the storage barn, which is quite cool. If you leave that too long, or they don't harvest them in time, because you planted too late or you don't have enough workers, what can happen is the plants will die off in winter. The frost and the snow will just kill them, and you'll lose all the food. So how much did that actually get us? 240 squash, and how many cabbages did we get? 239 cabbages. That's not bad. That's, you know, that seems like a decent amount. We are hovering around 500 food at the moment in late summer. Obviously we'll produce less food in winter, but we'll still be consuming the same amount, so I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. But that is essentially how much food we've got stored. All the houses already have their food. We may take a dive once this house becomes complete. Have these ones been occupied? Yeah, both of those have become occupied. Definitely want to start thinking about a schoolhouse soon. I think once we reach 25 people, I will build a schoolhouse and we can start getting people educated. Because all of the people who have just become adults are going to be working as uneducated labourers, and that basically means they're a bit slower. So how are we doing, actually? We've got a 7-year-old and a 1-year-old. We've got a 7-year-old there, 7-year-old there. They've just had a baby called Ellen. They've just had a baby called Dal. Everyone take bets on when those two hook up. That 10-year-old's just become a fisherman. We've got a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, 3-year-old. So it's not like we've got a crop of children just about to come of age. Most of them are several years off. So getting them educated sooner rather than later isn't going to hurt us too much. So where is the schoolhouse? There we go. Used to educate citizens to be more productive. So 50 wood, which you just about have, 16 stone, and we're doing okay on iron. Where shall we put our schoolhouse? Oh, I think we can go right next to the tailor's. There we go. Drop that down there. I will put in a little road just along the front of it. I just like, you know, making them work that way. The blacksmith, yeah, blacksmith's got, you know, hit their limit on how many tools we want, and we've got plenty of firewood. And now they've stopped making firewood, our logs are shooting up. We've got 70 stored already. We are going to still need more stone though, and that is becoming an increasing problem, which we may want to sort out with some sort of quarry. But for the time being, let's designate all of that to be collected and put a road along there. If I can find where the end of my road is. It's around there somewhere. And we'll just run that through there so they're a little bit quicker getting to and from. We can upgrade that. If we had a surplus of stone, I would start doing stone roads, and they are much faster on those. But right now, as I'm trying to get stone, that probably wouldn't be a great choice. So, yeah, that's still going. It was the well last episode. I was talking about how we need a well up here, wasn't it? Okay. Yeah, we don't have enough stone for that either. But once they've gathered all of that, and it's autumn now, so we shouldn't have a problem with fire. That will be our next big thing, I think. Once we've got the this stone harvested. Now our tailor does keep running out of leather, but they have managed to make... They made 20 hide coats last season, and they've made 12 now. We've still got 19 in storage, so that is... They are more than keeping up with demand. And that is with 3 hunters in 1 hunting lodge. So, last year they got 24 leather, this year they've got 18. That's not too bad. Ooh, the snow's coming in quite thick and heavy. And we'll see the amount of firewood we've got start to plummet. And also the food will go down over winter, simply because we produce less in this season. We've still got some squashes in there though, and some cabbages. It's not terrible. These may not be the most productive crop fields in the world, considering they are quite small and they are requiring the use of 2 people to actually produce what they do. But for the time being, I think that will work okay. I believe the fishing dock still might be our most productive single item. 3 people, 600 food last season. Let's have a look at the gatherer's hut. So with 4 people, no, they got far more food actually. Yeah, if you look at that, it's over 1700 units of food. So I think the gatherer's hut is probably your best bet for early start food before you really get into crop farming. Later in the game, crop farming can be very powerful. And yeah, we are having to go quite far away to get this wood and stone now, which is just unfortunately going to take a long time. But okay, so Lindum Colonia coming into its 5th year, population of 23, 13 children. I think we're doing fairly well. We seem to be pretty stable on firewood and food, and I'm going to call this episode here. Hopefully next episode we'll see our schoolhouse get built, and we'll see about expanding with another gatherer's hut somewhere to the north. But yeah, thanks for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, and feel free to subscribe. I will see you next time. Bye!